Hi, I'm Mike Yanessa. Welcome to another episode of Car Stories here on PCTV. Today we're at the Pottstown Airport. Eastwood's having a giant car show, swap meet. They're demonstrating new prizes. We have a teeter-totter competition, a muffler wrapping competition, and a lot more. So stay tuned for the car show at the Pottstown Airport, brought to you by Eastwood in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Okay, the first car today at the Eastwood show is a beautiful 1966 Chevy 2. Original owner, kind of. Okay, it's my good friend Bill Clements. He was on our show a while back, the guy with the red Z28. So Bill came here to Eastwood today with a Chevy 2, and tell us about it, Bill.
I bought the car new in 1966. I was a senior in high school in Springford. I was just getting ready to graduate from high school. I ordered the car new. My dad was financing the car. I wanted to originally get a 327, 350 horse car. My dad wouldn't let me buy it because he said it was too much horsepower. I ended up getting a 283, 220 horse car. And when I went into service, I sold it to my brother. My brother had it, drove it for about 4 years, I think, my brother Scott. And then he parked it, and it sat for probably 25 years. In 1999, I bought it back from him and got it running again, and I put the 327, 350 horse car, 350 horse engine in it that I always wanted.
So it was originally just a 4-barrel car, but it wasn't a high horse one.
No, it wasn't a high horse. It was a 283, 220 horse car.
And it's here today, original paint, folks. I mean, it's really a beautiful car. No rust. Bill's had it since, new, other than a little, in the family. How's that? Yep.
Never left the family.
But what a beautiful car here. Thanks for bringing it out, Bill.
You're welcome.
So here we are, 1933 Ford Hot Rod, custom body. Okay, my old friend Bob Smith, who used to live in the area, moved away. Now he's back. He used to be with M&S Race Cars, Don Meng. If any of you guys are that old to remember that. Sorry, Bob. And now he's back in Pottstown, and he just got done building this car. It's Ford powered. He's going to tell you a little bit about it. And this is its first trip to the Eastwood show here in Pottstown. So Bob, tell us about this hot rod.
Yeah, we just unloaded it in the trailer down at the Eastwood facility and drove it up here. What is this, a quarter of a mile? It's
First time
out of the driveway. First maiden voyage. It's exciting. It's been a little over a year. It's basically got a tube chassis, independent suspension, Boss 302, and a fast fuel injection system.
Right.
All fiberglass body. Again, from my race car days, back when I was building funny cars and top fuel cars, I was a fiberglass and sheet metal guy, so I got to rekindle my skills. So it was a lot of fun.
Original skills from years ago, folks.
Yeah, back in the late 70s.
He built some of the best funny cars that raced in the 70s. So here he is at Eastwood with his newest project, and so far so good.
Yeah, exciting to be out again.
All right, Bob. Thanks for coming on the show.
Sure.
How about this beautiful pearl white and red 38 Chevy? This one belongs to George Hansen and Debbie Hansen. George helps me out at the shop once in a while. He is the guy, if you have a street rod and you have brake problems or overheating problems or wiring, he builds more street rods than anybody. So this is one of his cars. The other car, if you remember, a couple months ago on our show was a 36 Ford convertible that I painted, the tan Cordova tan one. He's putting that one together. That one's not on the road yet, but this one he's owned for a lot of years, restored it a couple times, and it's here today at Eastwood in the Wheels of Motion lineup. And just what a beautiful 38 Chevy. The pearl white in the sun today looks awesome. If you saw last month's show, you saw what happened to my favorite car, Big Red. My plans were to have both of them here, but I brought the white Z. This was featured in a couple shows. It's known as the Drunk Skunk, and it's here today at Eastwood, all shined up and looking real good. So here's a car we've been following on the show, the 72 Z28, belonged to John Durang. He's here today. He drove it from the shop. This is the first time he drove this car since 1986, and it's here at Eastwood. 1972 Z28, original owner, parked in 1986 with 28,000 miles on it. So John was a little nervous this morning, but boy, his face lit up when he hopped in his old car, drove it for the first time up here to the show at Eastwood. Another one I brought here today is the 59 Impala. All original paint, 34,000 miles. The car was bought new at the building that we do business at now at 525 East High Street. Back then it was called Kaiser Chevrolet. There's the original bill of sale, and it's just a really neat car. They don't build them like this anymore. 1959 Impala. How about this 1935 Chevy Hot Rod? This guy, Tom Buchter, I've known him since I was about 7 years old, and we used to hang out at the North End Swim Club in the north end of Pottstown. Tom built this car himself. We put the flat black on it at Wheels of Motion, but he built it himself, and I want Tom to tell you about this unique 1935 Chevy. Tom?
Hi, Mike. How you doing today?
Good, Tom.
Good. Yeah, 1935 Chevy Roadster.
Right.
Originally started out, bought the body, the frame from a company up in Buffalo, New York.
Right.
And all the other parts had to scrounge up.
Right, and it's kind of like a rat rod, the way you drive it kind of thing. I see it's not shined up, which is cool.
No, it's never shined up. It's the way it is. Leave the dirt on it, don't clean it. I like to think of it as a smooth rat.
That's right, smooth rat, perfect. And you notice it doesn't have that big block or small block even. It's an old-fashioned six-cylinder like they would have done back in the 50s or 60s. A lot of the guys did this. And I mean, the features on this car, like the bottle opener on the firewall and the blue jeans for pockets on the doors. Tom did all this with the help of his wife, and it's just a unique car that you won't see another one like it. So.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
That's what he wanted, yep.
I wanted something unique, Mike. I didn't want something that everybody else has.
Right.
And it's an absolutely blast to drive. Little 292 in there out of a 75 GMC ice cream truck.
So Tom, we talked about North End Swim Club, where I spent most of my childhood in the hot summer days like this. So what made you put North End on the car, besides growing up in North End?
Yeah, Mike. Actually, the North End Swim Club on the side of the hot rod was an afterthought, and it was something for my mom.
Okay.
My mom was one of the two ladies that started the North End Swim Club.
Really? I did not know that.
And just something for her. I just thought it would be nice on the side of the car, and when it was all said and done, it fits, and I think she would have liked it.
And it looks perfect on the car. Willie did the lettering over on 562, and he makes it look old, like it's worn off. So it looks like it's been there since the 60s. So,
yes, it does. It looks great.
Great, good touch. Yep, and good tribute to Mom.
Yep,
right.
Yep, that's great. Yeah, love doing it.
So how about this truck? Beautiful, okay? A lot of people don't understand this. They think everything needs to be shiny and perfect. Like Tom Buchter's car we did earlier, this truck's meant to look old. It's meant to look rubbed through. It's got air ride on it. It's got a homemade clear hood. You'll see the license plates for door panels. This is the kind of stuff people did back in the 50s and 60s. They didn't order it out of a catalog. They didn't make it look perfect. They didn't have the money. So they did with what they could with the budget they had. And this is what it's supposed to look like. It's a blend though. See, it has the big wheels from nowadays, but the body and the interior are the rat rod look, or the old look that they did back in the 50s and 60s. So I'm guessing it's a 55 Chevy pickup. What a neat vehicle. So when's the last time you seen a 1958 Chevrolet tow truck? Well, this one is absolutely gorgeous. And we're here with the owner, Bruce, and he's going to tell us about it. Bruce, tell us about your beautiful tow truck.
Well, it's actually a wrecker.
A wrecker?
Yeah, and the difference between a wrecker and a tow truck is the swinging boom.
Well, I was looking at that, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, that way you could recover from over a hillside or whatever.
So it's a wrecker.
Yeah.
If it wouldn't have the booms, it's a tow truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does tow too, but.
Yeah. Did you build it? How long you owned it? Or?
We rebuilt it 10 years ago, my son and I.
Oh my gosh, it's
It
beautiful.
actually belongs to my son.
Okay.
It was a senior year of high school project
Oh my
kind
gosh.
of thing, and I figured that was cheaper to finance this than bail him out of jail. So,
Yeah. Well, you tell your son.
or other
you guys-
things that happen to
Yeah.
teenagers. You know?
No, this is what they
But-
need. This is a good project for them, and it's beautiful. 10 years
Yeah.
later, it still looks like you just did it.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Thanks for bringing it today to
Oh,
Eastwood.
yeah. It came from Pittsburgh.
Came from Pittsburgh.
Drove it all the way from Pittsburgh, not on the turnpike.
It would look good with my company name on the side. Maybe we'll talk later.
Maybe.
Thanks a lot, Bruce.
Yeah.
Okay, you know I like 59s. Well, there's another guy from Pottstown. Everybody knows him as Brooke. Brooke's been messing with these big Chevys for longer than me. And this is his latest paint job. He owns a restoration shop up in Stowe called Brooks Hot Rods. It's up in the old Gooderbroad building where Finish Master's at. And he does real good work, and this is one of his latest projects, a beautiful 1959 Chevrolet station wagon. How about this beautiful 55 Chevy Bel Air? Belongs to Wes Castle. It is unbelievably nice. Every show he goes to, he usually does really well with this car. Wes Castle used to own the Corvette, Wes Castle's Auto Repair. He worked on Corvettes over in New Berlinville. And I actually grew up beside of his wife. And while he was in Vietnam, he had a 55 Chevy behind the house parked. And when I was 5, 7 years old, I used to look at that car a lot with the cheater slicks, with the chrome reverse on it. It was maroon. So it's funny how we grew up with these cars, and here we are 40 years later. Wes has a 55 Chevy again, and I have a 56, just like my brother had back in the day. So what a nice car, this beautiful 55 Bel Air. Okay, so one of the hangars here at the Pottstown Airport, Eastwood has some of their stores set up. They have some personalities. Mike Joy's here from Barrett Jackson, he's the announcer. And the guy you hear talking now over there is Mark Robideau. Mark is in charge at Eastwood of like product testing. A lot of times we work together on different projects, on testing welders and testing paint. And right now he's doing a seminar on powder coating, so you can learn how to powder coat. That's a process like Dan Woods does. He's been on our show, that where instead of painting it, you're actually powder coating it. It's more durable and it comes in all colors. So anyway, Mark is doing a seminar here, free. People come in and sit down and learn a little bit. And let's see what else is going on here at the hangar at the Pottstown Airport from Eastwood. So we're here in the Eastwood hangar, and we're with Marshall. He's a pinstriper, and he's very good. He's actually striping, and he's telling people some secrets about how to stripe.
Right. That started running out of paint near the bottom. Then I couldn't get back in to match that width.
So here we are with Dave Walsh at the Eastwood display. The pinstriper's over there, and right aside of it is a sanding block he's going to demonstrate. So Dave, what's your job with Eastwood?
I'm here at this great airport facility.
It is great.
We're going to show them how to sand in half the time.
Okay, how are we going to do that? Because I sand a lot, and
I'm going to demonstrate
I don't believe
this.
you.
I'm going to give you a 100-mile-an-hour NASCAR demo.
Okay,
Okay. This
go
is
for it.
the gist of it. Okay.
Okay.
Traditionally, you would take your sanding block and you put it against your paper.
Right.
And this is the way we've been doing it since the dawn of time. But
That's
if you
correct.
if you go to do something curved, what happens is your sandpaper will buckle.
Oh.
So what we've done is we've come up with a way to trick it. You know, we're going to trick it here. We're going to trick the sandpaper into sticking. Right. So what we're going to do now, it's
How
not
about that?
wrinkling, it's not buckling. And the neat thing about it is it looks like some dust could get back, under there. So I'm going to twist it. I'm going to lock it into place. So by doing that, now I can go in here and sand this. I can 360 it, 180 it. I can go in here to a teardrop, or I can move back over to this side a little bit.
How about
It'll
that?
do concave, convex, everything. It doesn't leave you with a bag of walnuts.
Right.
You know what I mean? Usually, because if you have a flat block, you're just taking hits at it.
That's right.
And you're
then you
moving
got a
it like
crosshatch
crazy.
and everything.
And then
Yeah.
you tend to use a small block in here because you can't reverse it. So,
Right.
So that's kind of the quickness of it all. And
So,
then
well, sign me up with the set for Wheels in Motion.
okay,
I need this.
Awesome. No problem at all.
They always say it's like sanding a beach ball, right?
like sand-
Sometimes.
Hey,
These old cars.
Hey, we
Yeah.
sell them to people that sand bowling pins.
No kidding.
Yep, they'll sand anything. It's crazy how they work. The cloth one here, this is a Queen Anne leg.
Right?
You can go in here and sand it like this. It'll go right, and it'll go straight into a 90.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It'll go right in, and it'll also go flat too. It's crazy.
Well, thanks for taking the time to
Oh,
demo
thank you
that
very
hat.
much.
I'm impressed.
Sorry.
Thank you, Dave.
See ya. Thanks.
One of the great guys here this weekend is Mike Joy. He's the announcer of the Barrett Jackson Auctions and the Fox NASCAR Network. Is that correct? Did I say it right?
You're doing just fine.
Okay, Mike, what are you doing here today?
Well, Eastwood's brought me in here to help introduce the 5 finalists for their DIY Legends competition. It's a year-long contest. We've now narrowed it down to the final 5, and they'll have several tasks to perform between now and the SEMA show in November, when
Okay.
they'll all win great prizes here, and then one of them will be chosen as a DIY legend at the SEMA show.
Oh, that's great. So you're here to do that, and then will you be at SEMA?
Yes.
Oh, I'll see you at SEMA because
I'll be
Wheels
at
of
SEMA as
Motion
well.
goes there.
Oh,
yeah.
sure. No,
yeah, it's a great show.
That's great. I can't believe the turnout. There's at least 500 cars here already.
Yeah.
You know, and it's only 10 o'clock
10
in
o'clock,
the morning, and hours to go. But what a wide variety of cars and interests here. That's the great thing about the collector car hobby. There's no right, there's no wrong. Everybody's doing things to their own individual taste.
Yep.
And boy, we've seen everything from soup to nuts here today.
Well, that's great, Mike. I'm glad you're having a good time here in Pottstown, and want to thank Eastwood for inviting you, and have a good show.
Well, thank you. Thanks very much.
All right, Mike. So how about this beautiful Dodge Dart Swinger? This is one we did at the shop about, what, 2 years ago, Drew?
Yeah, it was. Wasn't this past winter. It was the winter before. Redid it.
Yep, we did it, and Drew drives it everywhere. He's enjoying it. 340, 4-speed, orange. Drew, tell us why you have a Swinger.
Well, when I graduated high school, I actually went out looking for a Roadrunner. And I pulled in, and the guy says, well, we have this car. And I walked up, and that was it. I was done.
That was it.
I went with the Swinger, and then years later, I found this one, and it was a turnkey. So I bought this, and then 2 years ago, you got it in the shop, and this is what you did with it.
Yep, redid it. He had the interior redone, and it runs great. This is the one to have. 340, 4-speed, 1970 Dodge Dart Swinger. Thanks for bringing it here today, Drew, and have a safe trip home. So today at Eastwood's Car Show, you see everything from street rods to muscle cars to rat rods to unfinished projects. When's the last time you've seen a real 1965 Olds 442 bench seat 4-speed car in this beautiful yellow color? This is my old friend Joe. He's had it for quite a while. Tell us about it, Joe. How long you had this beauty?
I've had this one for 4 years. Bought it semi-restored. Been fixing it up and tweaking it here and there since I got it. Yeah,
right. I remember when you put the red lines on it and the wheels.
Yeah.
It surely is a beautiful car.
Thank you. Yeah, it's starting to really perk up.
And what's the engine? I forget.
It's 400 cubic inch original engine, but it has Mondello massaged Edelbrock heads on it. So
it must run pretty good then.
Oh, it's healthy. They told me it's supposed to be pushing around 450 horse. So.
Oh my, that's great. What a neat car. If you notice, that's not a vinyl top. Back then you could get a painted top, and this is one with the black painted top. So thanks, Joe, for bringing out this really rare classic 1965 Oldsmobile.
Thanks, Mike.
How about this familiar face? A 1963 Impala Super Sport 327 4-speed, original owner. You always hear about the barn find. Well, this was a barn find, but Joe knew it was there all these years. He bought it new in 1963. He parked it in 74, and we got it running and shined up, and Bonnie and him have been hitting all the shows, and they're here today at Eastwood, and their beautiful 63 Impala convertible. It don't get no better than this, folks. Unfortunately, we're out of time for this episode of Car Stories. So I'm Mike Yanessa. Don't forget to tune in every Wednesday night at 8. Thanks to Television and the PCTV network. It's on throughout the week at different times. You can check the Mercury for the schedule. And if you don't get Comcast, it's on the PCTV network on the internet. So tell your friends across the country to tune in to Car Stories and see what's happening here in Pottstown. The Eastwood Car Show at Pottstown Airport. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi,
Welcome to D&W Motorsports at our new location, 1100 Grosser Road in Gilbertsville, Pennsylvania, right off of Route 100 in the Final Results Business Complex. Right here we do custom powder coating and media blasting. I'm also a pipes exhaust dealer. Come on in and let me tell you what we do here at D&W Motorsports. Here's examples of my powder coating. In front of you here, you'll see a rear housing that we do. I use that as a display piece. That is what they call gloss black. All these rears, when they're done, they're cleaned out. They're powder coated inside and out. Here's several other different examples of powder coating. Here's a semi-gloss black that's used for the cars, original cars for their jack stands, for their jacks. We do motorcycle parts as well. You can see some of the springs we do, intake manifolds, primary covers for motorcycles, valve covers, oil pans, and wheels. Here's another good example of powder coating that was done in-house here. The parts, when they come in, are media blasted so that they're down to base metal. And base metal means the rust is gone, paint is gone, we're right down to bare metal. At that point in time, it's prepped and powder coated. Here's the side as what it was before, and this is what it is after it's powder coated. We not only do just auto parts here, we do other lawn fixtures like lamp posts. You can see here, this piece here goes on the top of here. We do some, it's a sconce here for a customer that we've done. We also do a lot of motorcycle frames. Here's a good example of a frame in gloss black. Here's a couple examples of metallic powder coat. This is a black metallic, has a black and metallic different colors. And here's one, it's a black base coat with the red metallic clear over top. At D&W Motorsports, I'm also a ceramic coat dealer exclusive to this area. Here's a good example of the Sterling on the headers. A lot of the guys like the Sterling on the headers for their street rods, their muscle cars, and so forth. Here's a good example of cast iron exhaust manifolds that are used for all the cars that are stock, and they want them to look as they were when they came from the factory. And here's an example of flat black, which is used on headers as well, motorcycle parts and so forth. White is also available in ceramic coat for the old school street rods and hot rods like they were back in the day. At D&W Motorsports, I'm also a pipes authorized retailer. Here's an example of an exhaust system, all in stainless steel. Here's an example of the late model Mustang mufflers, all in stainless. You can get it in polished stainless or you can get it in black. They also sell full exhaust systems for the later model Mustangs and the early model Mustangs. Plus, they sell exhaust systems for early model Camaros, Buicks, Pontiacs. Here's a good example of a header for a small block Mustang, our late model. Also, we sell exhaust tips, all in stainless steel, very high quality parts. They also sell stacks for the diesel pickup trucks and full exhaust systems for the Ford, Chevy, and Dodge diesel and gasoline pickup trucks, all in stainless steel. At D&W Motorsports, we do custom powder coating using the best virgin powders. As I always say to my customers when they ask me for a price, I'm here to make a living, not make a killing.
All right, something new here at Wheels in Motion. It's called TechNet, and we were lucky enough to get picked. I mean, they only pick a few shops, like we're the only one in this area that has this program, and it's really cool. All the parts that we install, like starters, alternators, water pumps, batteries, have a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty. So, for example, if you come here and get a water pump put on, and your car breaks down in Florida, or any place, this is a map of all the TechNet service centers across the country. And we've been on the program for about a month, and we already had one that a customer was here from New York, and their alternator went, and they looked up and found out we were a TechNet dealer. So we did the job, we get paid, and the customer doesn't pay anything because it has a 2-year, 24,000 mile warranty. So all those red dots are TechNet garages around the country. So something that's free here at Wheels of Motion on every repair. Of course, you know, like I said, if it's in for an oil change, that's not guaranteed, but it's mainly for the components. If you have a failure, if you have a battery go bad or an alternator. And then when you come, you get a little pamphlet like this. And in here explains the whole warranty thing. But here's the cool part. All you have to do is spend $25 a year at Wheels of Motion. So if you buy an oil change, you're in the program, and you get 2 tows a year, up to $75. If you have a flat tire, if you lock your keys in the car, if you run out of gas, it's free. You pay the company, if you would pay the tow company $75, or say you paid them $90, okay, you turn in the slip and you get a check for $75 in the mail. So it's kind of, and it's free. It's to all customers that spend $25 a year here. So it's something that we started, like I said, about a month ago, and it's really cool. And if you do price shopping, which I know a lot of people do, our labor rate is cheaper than most. It's definitely cheaper than the big chains. It's $80 an hour, and our parts prices are competitive. Plus, it's backed up with a 2-year, 24,000 mile warranty, and it's nationwide. So TechNet here at Wheels of Motion. So stop by, get your oil changed, and you'll get enrolled right away for the roadside assistance program. And if we do any component work or any replacements on your car, you know that for the next 2 years, you're not going to pay again.